I want to go back, though, to what I was discussing earlier in the program, and that is corporate social responsibility. One businessman has been hitting back at this. Gerry Harvey says activists and industry super funds are pushing diversity and other aspirations at the expense of the basics of running a good business and focusing on shareholder returns. He's hitting back at this political correctness. He won't bow to it in his boardroom or with his language. I caught up with him a short time ago. I'm joined now by the chairman and founder of Harvey Norman, Gerry Harvey. Gerry, you're at Auburn today launching another way for customers to purchase through your companies. Retailing, we keep being told, is going through tough times, but you reckon we're not headed for a recession?
No. David Jones came out with a very bad result. So then the CEO says, hang on, we're in a recession. Retail's in a recession. And then all the other retailers came out with a result that said we're not in a recession at all. So why did David Jones say that? They said it because they had a crook result and they needed an excuse. So our figures in July and August were actually up 3% on last year. So we couldn't come out and say, hang on, I agree with David Jones, we're in a recession. We would look silly. At the same token, you know, business is tough out there. It's not easy. But it's still going along, and if we get last year's figures, not good, but not recession.
Now, what you're announcing today is latitude pay. It's another way for customers to be able to purchase or finance purchases quickly. We're fast becoming a cashless society, aren't we?
Yep. In the old days, we would have more than 50% of the money in the till would be those notes. Now, if you get 10 or 15%, it's, oh, look, we've got 10% in cash. The rest is all some form of credit, debit card, whatever. So the world's changed. We are heading towards the cashless society. I always have a bit of cash in my pocket. I love to pay cash. And I don't want a credit card, but I'm one of the few like that, I think. Because then I've got to later on, I've got to get a cheque and pay and check, oh, did that happen, that happened? I've just paid cash, it's forgotten. I don't have to worry about the credit card, but I'm in the minority by a long, long way.
Well, the only place that cash is still king is at the ICAC hearings, where it comes in Audi shopping bags and is dumped in at ALP headquarters. So we'll leave the cash discussion for that.
Yeah, but I'm not happy about it. It should have been in a Harvey Norman bag, not an Aldi bag.
Yeah, I reckon Audi's getting a lot of free publicity out of it, that's for sure.
Gerry, I'm really pissed off with that.
Gerry, I'm really keen to get your thoughts on corporate social responsibility. As you say, you've been able to grow your business, you keep working hard at it, and you compare that to the other large retailers in Australia who say they're doing it tough. Do you think they've lost focus on creating jobs, earning revenue, making sales in pursuit of these corporate social responsibility agendas?
There's no question about that. And every time I bring it up, the darts come out and they throw it. They've all got a board with my picture on it at home. And all these people that are into corporate governance, I'm the villain. So the point is that David Jones and Myers had the perfect board. None of them had ever sold a sock in their life. Right? They were all accountants or lawyers or business people from other industries. They had at least 3 women and 3 blokes and 2 accountants and 2 lawyers. Perfect board, ticked every box. Every superannuation fund could buy with confidence into the shares of those companies. And Harvey Norman had this dreadful board where 5 or 6 people worked in the company. The chairman was married to the CEO, and they talked about business even as they went to bed at night and woke up in the morning. And we had our 3 or 4 independent directors. Totally wrong. Absolute disgrace. And as the years went by, behold, David Jones and Myers sales go drop, 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 drop. Harvey Norman up, 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 up. And still, with the evidence blatantly out there in front of them, these people that talk about corporate governance, the Australian Shareholders Association, the super funds, they still keep going with their rubbish. They never give in and say, hey, I was wrong. They don't admit they were wrong.
Well, in fact, they doubled down, as you know, Gerry. I mean, I'm sitting here holding the ASX Corporate Governance Council handbook and their guidelines and recommendations and principles. It runs to many pages, as you know. Now, of course, there's some stuff in there about accountability to shareholders and making sure you run the place properly, but it's full of recommendations and demands about diversity and the environment and climate change, and not enough just about maximising your returns. To me, this is the problem. Shareholders surely expect companies to maximise their returns.
Exactly, but so people have agendas, and these people that have got these agendas are minority groups with a voice way bigger than what they are. So you get a mob like the Australian Shareholders Association. Sounds important. How many shareholders are they representing? Oh, less than 1% of most companies. Oh, maybe only 0.1% of a lot of companies. But they get up there and they want to say. And they have an agenda that's just crazy. But they have their say, and then the media gives them a lot of publicity, and they think they're important. But they're not important. They're absolutely bloody wrong. And when I have a go at them, then I'm a problem because I'm having a go at somebody that has found someone like me that's a villain. And here I am thinking, I'm not a villain, I'm doing the right thing by all my shareholders. Yes, I do believe in diversity. Yes, I do believe in climate control. Yes, I do believe in the environment, all of these things. But it doesn't mean that I believe in all of those things so that I can make a lower profit and ruin my company. So I've got to do all of those things. What they want me to do is forget about the profit, forget about the company, tick all the boxes. So if they keep that up, they'll have companies ticking all the boxes, and all the people that are in the super funds, all of us out there, we'll all go broke with the super fund because the super fund's not properly looking after our money.
Yeah, that's the point, a strong point you make. You don't reject the diversity aims or the environmental goodwill and all of that, but it's about the priorities that companies should place on their knitting, I suppose, their bread and butter issues, and that is maximising their revenue and their returns to shareholders. Just how influential do you think the major super funds are with their $1 trillion of investments across the Australian economy?
They are hugely influential. I get letters from them all the time. And it says, we will not buy shares in your company because you haven't got an independent chairman. The CEO is married to the chairman. You've got 4 people in the company on your board that shouldn't be on your board. You haven't got enough women on your board. You haven't got enough independent directors on your board. And in addition to that, you've got people that are on your board that have been there over 10 years, so they are now no longer independent. I said, where did you find that rule from? Australian Shareholders Association. I said, they made it up. I want people that have been on my board for over 10 years because they know what's going on. I don't want new ones every 6 months. So, you know, I'm completely at odds with these sort of people. Then in our board meetings now, every year it gets a little bit worse. Instead of sitting there and talking about how many fridges we're going to sell next week or next year, we're sitting there talking about corporate governance all the time. It goes on and on and on, the risk committee and the something else and something else. And you walk out of there and you think, do I really want to be here in a public company anymore?
Gerry, why speak up about this?
Privatise it.
Why are you ringing the bell on this? Why are you railing against this? Because from the sounds of it, it's actually helping your company. You're doing better than your competitors.
I know, but they're out there attacking me, and they don't know that they're wrong. It's very, very frustrating when you talk to someone that's wrong that doesn't know they're wrong. And it's very frustrating when you try to tell them how they're wrong, you get it logically correct, and you think, I think I've got them, and they walk away and say, bullshit, right? So very difficult because they're set in their ways. They won't be influenced by people like me. They just see me as a rat bag.
Gerry Harvey.
I see them the same way.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing your common sense with us, Gerry. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.